Hey, welcome back to another episode of We Are Liars, a Pretty Little Liars podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are discussing season 1, episode 13, Know Your Frenemies. Original air date. Oh, it is not January 17th, Alyssa. Shame on you, Alyssa. It's the week later. January. However many.
Hold on. 24th.
24th. It's January 24th. Oh my God. It's a hot mess express. January 24th, 2011, written by I. Marlene King and directed by Ron Lagomarsino. Actually, I apologize. Last week's air date was this week's air date. So it is January 17th.
Oh, okay. And last week on Talking Texas,
You did the same thing?
I didn't even say the air date.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just dropped that ball.
And grooving.
Yeah.
So it was last week's episode was Oliver Goldstick and Norman Buckley. This week is I. Marlene King and Ron Lagomarsino. So as Noel steps up his pursuit of Ezra, him and Aria start to feel like there may be no way out. Pam's perceived tolerance of Maya comes to a screeching halt. Spencer must handle the return of happy newlyweds, Melissa and Ian. A has Hanna jumping through old habit hoops with regards to the stolen money. Yeah, I told you about this episode.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, burned into my brain. And I'm not the only one. We've had a bunch of people write in saying, like, the scene with Hanna and the cupcakes, never forget.
Right. I'll save it for when we get there. Yeah.
So the little poison tonight is recess. Do you remember when we had recess at Tiger Lily Cafe?
I love recess.
They're so good. CBD hemp infused sparkling water. I felt like it was kind of like a pun on the joint in this episode. And Mike also, his ice cream flavor, half baked, because obviously. Yes. So all right, so we'll start with Hanna. She has to play A's game. Now, in trivia, they stated that it must be weeks later because, as I told you, Hannah's not in a wheelchair. She doesn't have a cast.
Yeah.
And Wayne is gone. So, not on the island, but he's gone.
Yeah.
So, it means it's been the end. It's like the end of the month.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't even think of Wayne.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't even think of him leaving or being there.
Right. So it's like, what has Hanna had to do anything else in between? Like, we don't know any of that. And I guess they're probably just ignore the time and we'll just go like right where we picked up last week, even though it's clearly been a few weeks.
That's so true. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. All right. So Hanna needs to get Ashley's money back, even though really it's Ashley's responsibility, but Ashley doesn't know what the hell is going on. But Hanna receives a note from A to go to Lucky Leon's, the bakery in town, to pick up her order for Hefty Hanna. Of course. So A forces her to eat 6 pig-inspired red velvet cupcakes.
Yeah.
This whole scene, watching it the first time I watched it, I was like, this is so far-fetched that these kids would just sit and watch and poke fun and go oink oink.
Like, I also felt that was super far-fetched and weird.
So weird, right? So weird.
Who would do that?
I don't know where the hell they thought that this was like a good idea. Like, she could have done something else. We could have brought up her eating disorder a different time, different place. We didn't have to do the binge cupcake, but then everyone watches her eat it. It's like it was like a show to watch her eat it.
It just didn't seem believable, and I just can't imagine 3 dudes sitting down, like, paying attention and
exactly
watching her and be like, oh, oink, oink, look at Hanna. Obviously, they know who Hanna is,
right?
Why would they even pay attention to that?
Exactly. That's what my thought process was. Like, these teenage boys wouldn't give a shit about what she's eating.
Yeah, and they're not aware. Like, obviously, people are aware that she lost weight, but they're not aware that she had an eating disorder, right?
No, of course not. They just thought, well, and for a time, A put the rumor out there that she had liposuction.
But the boys wouldn't know that.
The boys don't care about shit like that.
Actually, ooh. Did I pop? Yeah, I have to lower myself. I think it would make more sense, even though this is an awful scene, if it was girls.
Right.
High school boys would probably.
It totally would have made more sense.
Why didn't they do girls? That would have been like, girls are awful.
You know what would have made more sense if it was Mona's new minionish girls, the Alley friend girls, if they were watching and they were like oink oink.
Yes.
Not that would pain me to watch.
But wouldn't that make more sense?
It would make more sense.
And then you have Noel in the background of this particular scene, and he doesn't do it. Like he's
just staring.
And it's to make us that he's A, right?
Right.
But that was weird to me. Like, wouldn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, this whole scene
is weird.
As I said, is such a memorable scene because it's so far-fetched and bizarre. All to get this money back for her mom. And I guess if my Fitbit just went off like I was. This is, when you talk with your hands a lot, your Fitbit's like, "Are you working out?
You're stepping a lot.
You're stepping."
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has to get the money back, but like this was the way that the writers chose to pursue it. So Hanna ends up eating all 6 cupcakes. Aria sees her and she's like, "What is happening?" She does fight off the boys. She's like, "Don't you have balls to play with?" Or
yeah.
Something cute that I thought I really liked Aria in this scene because when she's with other people, not Ezra, she's so likable.
100%. Right? I am team Aria minus when she's with Ezra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it really
is. Just give us what we want, people.
Yeah, just like there's just no need for Ezra ever.
Exactly. And so she's wondering why Hanna didn't tell her where she was going. She lied about going to physical therapy. Hanna does tell her that, back in the day, she would binge eat, and Allie saw her and was sweet to her, or so she thought, and said that she helped her get rid of the food and feel better, and obviously starting an eating disorder. And she goes into the bathroom to kind of just like, freshen up and feel better, but she sees that the toilet is there, but luckily she does overcome her need to purge.
Yeah.
And she just takes the paper towel, she wipes her face, and in the paper towel roll is some cash. And I'm like, what if someone else went before her?
Yeah, that's all I could think about too. I know I shouldn't think about these logistics.
Oh, but they're so.
How can you?
It's so obvious, right?
Also, this isn't all the money.
No, it's just a very small fraction of it. I didn't even count how many hundreds. Yeah, were there. Maybe $500.
Right.
You know,
like what? Is the whole town A? Because this is the only way this plan would work. Is if the whole town was in on it.
Right. And so it does take you out of it.
It does. It's completely unbelievable.
Right. So this happens a lot. I mean, this is, very early on. This is season 1. You get your first real taste of, oh, this is like really far-fetched. This wouldn't happen, but it's just like you have to just remember, okay, I'm watching a show. I know this would never happen, but I'll just live the fantasy. It's a fantasy world, like a true fantasy.
Clearly.
Yeah. So she brings home the money. She tries stuffing it in her purse. She tries putting it back in the pasta boxes. And Ashley's like, what are you doing?
Which also bothered me. Why do we still have this lasagna box?
Right. Like, what did Hanna think she was going to do with this money? Obviously, Ashley was going to question where are you getting this from? And she does, but then she ignores it completely because she's like, well, we need this money. Like, yeah. Like, oh, you didn't think to give it back to the people at the shop? And she's like, no. And she's like, okay. Like, great lesson. Great lesson.
Yeah. I just don't know.
I still love Ashley, but
how weeks have gone by and we still have now the very, very stale lasagna noodles.
Oh, you're right. The box has been open for so long.
And touched with money, so it's gross, but we
so gross.
Still have, like, again, this also took me out of it.
Yeah, and then Ashley says, what are you doing with that? And Hanna goes, I'm going to make it. I'm like, I'm
Ew.
sure Ashley would not allow
No.
you to do so. And then she sees that the money is in the box,
Yeah.
questions it, and then says to Hanna, like, I always know when you're lying. And so
Right.
then we have a cute scene, Hanna being, I'm a virgin, I'm not a virgin in the mirror. I did laugh. Okay, so on to Emily. Jeez, Emily. Ay, ay, ay. So Maya and Emily, are doing okay despite Pam not really too keen on this situation. Emily and Maya are studying, literally just studying in her bedroom. Her mom, it was supposed to be out of town or supposed to be out, and Pam sees just like feet at the
Yeah,
door.
they're playing footsies.
Yeah, and but studying.
Yeah, they are. They are.
And she doesn't waste any breath, and she's like, "What's happening here? Maya needs to leave." And Emily is so embarrassed and upset. And she says, I'm honestly embarrassed to be your daughter. And I was like, burn.
Yeah.
Burn.
That is hurtful. But also, I feel it. I felt it in that scene.
Yeah, same.
Like,
absolutely.
Fucking shitty, man.
And Maya's like, it's okay. And Emily's, it's not okay. Maya ends up leaving her backpack. And Pam, she was in there hoping and praying that she'd find something.
Of course.
You wouldn't go through someone's bag if
No.
you didn't suspect they'd have something in
Sure.
there. And so she opens her bag. Of course, she sees, oh, this is Maya's. She starts going through it, and there is a mint tin, and she's about to put it back, but she shakes it and notices, this isn't mints. And she opens it, and like, it's perfectly a perfect joint and perfect like leaves. It's so perfect.
But like hook, line, and sinker.
Exactly. She's like, got her. So she calls Maya's parents. And then what really gets me is I feel like it doesn't make any sense that Maya's parents, the cool ones, would send her to juvie camp.
I didn't even think that. They are the hippies.
That's the first thing I thought of. They're artsy fartsy people. They're doing a little something.
Of course they are.
I mean, granted, they don't maybe want their kid to do it, but what, juvie camp? Don't you think it's a little extreme? Maybe put this kid in therapy? I don't know.
That
like, what the hell?
Track for her parents of what she described them to be.
Thank you.
Good point.
Yes, I wasn't the only one who think this, but I'm also like, this makes zero sense. So we either needed to just have them
on the island.
She's not.
Okay.
We need to have them separated. Maybe Bianca had another job, but this was like not the way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
No. Have like she's going to, I don't know what they could have done.
Right? They could have just been like, I don't know, maybe go spend some time with like a relative or something like that.
Right.
Why did we have to do this whole thing? And when Pam finds out that Maya had the joint, she questions if Emily does drugs with her, and Emily's like, what the hell's wrong with you? No. And they have this this fight, and Pam's like, oh, just watch me. Like, she's like, oh, just watch me. I'm gonna get Maya out of here. And she does. And so of course Maya has to go. She has to leave like basically that day. They can't even say goodbye to each other. Her parents take her phone away. I'm like, this is so extreme. And I get it, like, it was a different time then. Obviously, like, marijuana was not legal. But, like, this is so extreme.
I think, like, if it was just a different drug.
Right.
Coke.
That would make sense.
Right?
This seems, like, I mean, and maybe because it's ABC Family, right? Like, they couldn't really, truly dive in where they wanted it to. But weed?
Come on.
Weed?
And, like, a little cute little joint?
It was
like, give me a break.
Right. It doesn't
it does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense. She doesn't even seem like, not that it matters, it doesn't even seem like she's this like pothead.
No.
Where she would like stink all the time. Like it's like a recreational little like get me through the day kind of pick me up.
Yeah. and it looks like that her joint it was like it looks like you take a couple of hits and then that's it. It's not. It doesn't even smoke the whole one.
Exactly. It's
because it was clipped
to be.
So this was just so weird.
It's again very far fetched.
Yeah.
And knowing what we know about Maya's parents and how cool they are with their tattoo ring,
Right.
they send their kid to juvie camp. True North is what this camp is called. And so the girls end up sneaking Maya out of her house so they can have one last hurrah together. Very sweet.
It was sweet.
They're just embracing each other pretty much, just hugging, dancing, kissing, and just being so devastated that this is their last night together. And Maya thanks the girls and she leaves. I mean, Maya is like crying the entire time because she's like, this fucking sucks, first of all. I really don't want to go. I don't want to leave Emily. This is bullshit. Like, I really didn't do anything wrong. And the fact that it's like my girlfriend's mom, like, this happened because of my girlfriend's mom.
So she's not on the island.
She's not.
Does she come back this season or you're not going to tell me that?
I don't know if it's this season.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Sorry. Maybe this season.
Because, like, obviously I don't know this character, but I'm curious of, like you said, did she have another job or is she pivotal for a storyline later? So we have to bring her back for that. Because it seems like kind of weird to do this storyline and then, like, you should have just kicked her off. Like, if she was on the island, I'd be like, okay, this makes sense. She's in this camp.
No, she's not on the island. We do have
revisit
a story with her a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, on to Spencer. She's on a mission to figure out what the hell Ian was doing in Hilton Head.
Yeah, she is.
And so Melissa and Ian have been really, really secretive. They're whispering, and Spencer's trying to overhear. Obviously, she doesn't hear much. And then she gets a text from A saying, married for love or alibi. So even A is on to this. So, like, something's not kosher here. What is happening? So in the morning, Ian sees Spencer, and he's just trying to wish upon her that she would treat him more like a brother.
It's so gross. I hated this scene.
Me too.
Like, we're family now. It's like, Ian, you've been here for 0.5 seconds and you decide to make eggs.
And also, you used to kiss each other. It's not like
you've kissed my neck.
Like, it's not like you guys didn't, like, hook up with each other. Like, you have kissed. Or maybe whatever else. I don't know. But, right, exactly. And the worst part is that scene later where he's like, oh, I know Spencer can keep a secret.
I know. Like, oh.
Yeah.
He does a really good job
of
being creepy.
Yeah, I totally.
Like, great job.
Totally agree.
Great job.
Yeah. We're totally believing it.
Yeah.
So Spencer at that point takes it to her advantage to ask him about his Hilton Head luggage tag, and he's like, oh, I went there a few years ago. I don't really remember anything about it. I don't remember when I went. And so Spencer just, like, kind of wants to see if he will act upon her telling him that Allie was also there. And he's like, oh, okay. He just, like, barely brushes it off. Later that day, Spencer posing as Ian's Southern wife, which cracked me up. She's like, hi, hello, ma'am.
It was funny.
My husband, he stayed there. Can you tell me when? And so, of course, this is when she gets the real reveal that Ian and Allie were indeed at Hilton Head at the same time. And then her and Emily see Agent Cooper from the FBI, who's saying she's leaving town because they have a pretty strong case against Toby, and she's not really needed anymore. And at that moment, the girls are like, oh, no, now more than ever, we know that Toby definitely didn't do it.
Right. I also found it funny when she's like, man, I'm going to miss this food scene. I was like,
it's just the one cafe.
Seriously? Rosewood?
Where do you think they're from? Is it like FBI, like Quantico? Is that like
I don't know.
Like, where are they from that she doesn't have good food?
But her comment, I'm really gonna miss this food scene, girls.
It's just a small town PA.
Sure, it's not that great. I'm like,
you probably have like the one like local Chinese joint, and
that's it. That's it.
There's
no way.
I mean, it's literally Stars Hollow. There's not that many stores there.
Right.
So later on, we have a scene that really does break my heart where Spencer's on her run and she sees Toby, who's back in town, as we know. And even before that, he's walking through the halls of school and people are throwing things at him, calling him a murderer, spitting at him, whatever. And he's just taking it. He's trying to keep his head down. But then on the street, people are yelling out their cars at him. And then these two little kids, which are actually Marlene. One of them is Marlene King's son.
Oh, okay.
Is like, they're so afraid of him.
I mean, I can't blame the kids. You're told what you're told. You don't know. I'd probably do the same thing.
And so he
But
runs
it's
in the
sad.
alleyway to cry.
I know. It was really sad.
It was so sad. And Spencer's like trying to spy and she sees that he's crying and she's like, oh, like he's really, oh, this is like,
he's really upset.
He's really upset. Like he's not as tough as he looks on the exterior. And besides that, Melissa and Ian are trying to have a baby. So she's dealing with a lot. And Melissa confides in Spencer about this.
Okay. So I have a couple of words about this.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer is really caught up on the fact that her sister never told her that she wanted to be a mom, that she changed her mind, and it seems like a week. Ian is forcing her, manipulating her to do this. And I just feel like sometimes you could just change your mind. You could just decide
very easily.
I mean, it's more strange that they got married so soon.
Right.
Like it's just all so quickly.
They eloped. You know, it's not like they got engaged and then they're planning a wedding. Like, no, like right away we're getting eloped and we're getting married.
Yeah.
And then like a week or two later, they're trying to have a baby. That's why obviously, I mean, why everyone is looking at them in that light.
They're on the fast track.
Right. And Melissa says too, like, it's not like we're close. Like, why would I tell you my desires?
So I felt that was believable.
Right.
Like what Melissa said, but Spencer also being 16, not understanding.
Right. And she's like, she says, I don't expect you to understand. I'm still going to get my MBA, but I feel like I don't really have to be as tough on myself. And Ian makes me feel basically like more relaxed and I don't have to work so hard. And how funny would it be if there was an Ian and a Melissa running around and Spencer's like, ew.
No, thank you.
No, thanks. So Melissa and Ian, they're going out to dinner and Spencer and the girls take this time to rummage through Ian's stuff. They're hoping to find just something, some clue, but they come up short. But A decides to throw them one last bone and they send a video, the same video that we've been seeing of Allie, but this time the girls actually see Ian in it and they're shocked. And then you do see Allie on the ground, her hand is grabbing the leaves and then it goes limp. So the girls are like, this is the point when she was killed.
Yeah. Creepy.
Awful. To like watch your friend, like watch that happen to your friend.
It's like, okay, there's two thoughts here, right? This could be her experiencing some sexual pleasure.
Uh-huh.
Or she's dying.
Or she's dying.
Right.
Mm-hmm, right. The captions say she moans.
Well, that,
moaning of some capacity, hurt or not.
Exactly.
Right. But then they hear Russell outside again. And so they try to run after this person, but this person is too fast.
It like made it seem and feel that Maya was going to be captured.
Oh.
Because Maya leaves and then you hear rustling.
Yeah.
And you know someone's out because we see them looking in as they're going through the boxes.
Right. That's a good thought.
And I was like, is this girl just get kidnapped? Because it seems this way.
That's a good thought process.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly is Aria. Try not to burp. All right. So Aria and Mike, they start their morning really shitty because they hear that from Byron that Ella is dating again.
All right.
Really soon, but whatever. She's like, I'm on the prowl because you cheated. You're a son of a bitch. I'm totally sympathizing.
You do you, girl.
You do you. Mike is obviously taking it harder than Aria, and so she's worried about her brother. In school, she sees him talking to literally her arch nemesis Noel Khan, and she's like, what's happening here? Everyone's really like their eyes light up watching them together because they're like, what can Noel possibly want with Mike? And so when Aria questions him later, he's like, we're just like, I don't know, we're like friends. Like, I don't know, get over it. And Aria's like, he is not a good friend. He's not a good person. Speaking of the devil, this not so nice person walks into his friend Ezra Fitz's office again, this time trying to get him to change his grade again. And at this point, he's like, no, I actually really need you to change it because they won't let me play in the game. This typical high school bullshit.
Yeah.
And so Ezra like puts his foot down, but then Noel's trying to make a scene and tell his friends how Aria likes older guys, and that's why they're like not hooking up anymore. And as soon as Ezra hears that, he's like, I'll take it one last look at it.
And he also told Mike the rumor.
He did. He sure did.
No con.
Right. I mean, obviously he doesn't say who it is.
No, but I'm saying Noel Khan, he's
told at least one person that we know of, and now it seems that this rumor is growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike does tell the family later on, tells Byron and Aria, and at this point he's like, yeah, and I feel really bad for the girl, because tomorrow he's gonna go to the principal and tell them. And Aria's like, the woman was too stunned to speak. She was too stunned. And Byron's like, this could really ruin someone's career. And it's like, obviously, you fucking idiot. You're the one who this happened to. You're literally the prime example of this. He's like, this is not funny. This could really ruin someone's career. Yeah. and someone's education as well. So Aria immediately runs over to Ezra's. And this whole scene, I was like, I feel no sympathy for you guys whatsoever.
Same, nothing.
She's like, I can't believe this. We'll figure something out. And he's like, this is the most real the most real thing that's ever happened to me or what's happening in my life. And she says, I love you.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I zoned out at this part.
Yeah, I mean, it's every other Ezra Aria conversation.
I caught the I love you and I rolled my eyes hard, but like
yeah, and what really pissed me off in this scene is Ezra's like, they're trying to show him being noble and saying, I'm not gonna change Noel's grade on principle. I'm like, you're not a good guy. Right. Okay? You're not being noble. You're just being a shithead. Because this is not. Yeah. He's like, I know this doesn't look right, but it feels right. He also says, if I resign tomorrow and get the hell out of Rosewood, he'll have no reason to tell anybody about us. I'm like, how do you know that? Aria still goes to school there. Noel could still be very pissed that she cheated on him with Ezra, basically.
Right.
I don't know if they were boyfriend girlfriend, but they were dating, and she's dating her teacher.
Yeah,
like he could still very well tell someone and tell the principal, even though Ezra's gone.
Absolutely, and Ezra will still get in trouble.
He'll still get in trouble.
There goes your license, buddy.
Exactly. Just because you're leaving town, like it's not a quick fix.
Means nothing.
You were fucked up royally already, so that's it. Now you just have to. Now you can't get yourself out of this mess. You literally just have to keep digging a hole deeper and deeper.
Right. Yep.
The next day, Ezra's like getting himself all prepped to go tell the principal he's resigning, and in walks like the principal and security, and they find in Noel's locker all these test answers.
Yeah.
And so I guess basically they're expelling him because of it. And he's like, what? I was set up. This is bullshit. And then the girls get a text from A saying that A is for Allison, not for amateur.
Is Noel Khan on the island?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if, we have a lot of exits.
Oh, totally.
So I'm like, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Maya, it's also like, it's not right away. I don't remember like when he actually comes back in, but he's not on the island.
Okay.
Yeah. Aria immediately changes her tune about A. She's like, A saved my relationship. And Hannah's like, but they tried to kill me though. So which one is it?
Yeah.
And Spencer's like, well, that's because A thought that you saw them, but clearly they know that you didn't. So that's it. Like, A knows that you don't know who they are, and they're just going to keep messing and doing maybe, I don't know, maybe their team is Aria. Which is like, ewy.
Gross.
Or they're just going to use it to their advantage later.
They will just use it later.
You know? They are very smart. And that's my summary. So we have a message from our A again this week. A from Rosewood, PA. It seems that Rose the liar is no longer with us. They haven't messaged in a while, so maybe they collabed. I don't know.
Huh.
It hasn't been confirmed, but a liar hasn't emailed us in a while.
And we did have an
Instagram post. We did.
Yeah.
It was like, the Rosewood sign upside down.
Yeah, and that something's coming. So
I can't wait. Let's bring
we've
it
been
on.
waiting a couple of days now. So
A is pissed, though. They say this whole thing where you keep accusing the same person week after week is really getting boring. And you wouldn't want to bore me now, would you?
Okay, Mike.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly. I mean, seriously. You know what? Give us a reason to think it's not Mike.
Right.
A.
Yes,
There's a challenge
A.
for you. And don't
We're
say,
gonna keep saying it's Mike unless you prove us differently.
Not Canadian. That won't work.
Yeah. Give us an excuse as to why you message us at 1:00 in the morning.
Right.
What's that about?
What's that about?
All right. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. All right. Speaking of Michael,
yes,
let's do the Rosewood shop. So this week's flavor is Ben & Jerry's Peanut Butter Half Baked. Chocolate peanut butter ice cream mixed with gobs of peanut butter cookie dough and fudge.
Oh my God.
This sound and fudge brownies. This sounds so good. I chose this flavor because being baked is a synonym for being high, and cinnamon, I said, is a synonym.
She caught it. I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, she's on a roll.
For being high, and this episode really focuses on the highs, and it's a theme throughout the episode. The obvious was Pam finding Maya's drugs and thinking Emily and her are doing drugs together and that Emily is high. Melissa is riding the high of her marriage to Ian, already thinking about having kids and giving up the things that she used to think were important. With highs, however, things do eventually come crashing down. This is shown in our other two couples, Ezra and Aria spending one last night together before their secret is out. And of course, the last scene we get with Emily and Maya. And finally, the globs of peanut butter are represented by the globs of candle wax from both the scenes with Ezra and Aria and Maya and Emily. So many candle wax dripping.
Ooh. Okay. Globs. Candle wax. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back from your break. I had given the trivia before that it seems that this is weeks later, even though we haven't confirmed that, and that I am Marlene King's it says son, so I guess both of her kids were in this episode.
Cute. They did a good job.
Very cute. All right, so lots of people want to know your take on Byron and Mike. Do you think that they have an inkling that Aria is a student with Ezra?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like Byron's look was like...
Well, because she's like, I've done something wrong.
She's like... Yeah, she just... Yeah, her tone is like, oh my God, Dad, I messed up.
Right, that's what she said. And then
he's like,
out.
What?
I honestly don't think so.
Okay. So Mike doesn't know, Byron doesn't know.
Definitely not Mike.
A few people also wanted to know, would we be able to eat 6 cupcakes and what flavor would we choose?
I once made my sister eat, I think it was half a chocolate cake.
Oh.
And I did that. She wanted me to talk to her crush in orchestra. And I said, I'll only do it if you eat the rest of that chocolate cake. And she ate it and then threw up.
Was this in high school?
Mm-hmm. Because we had orchestra. When you were in orchestra.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I mean, obviously I know what
you're
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the bully there. I was the A.
They're pretty big cupcakes.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody would get
Anyone
sick.
would get sick. Absolutely.
It depends on my mood. Like, I love vanilla. I love funfetti. Sometimes I love a chocolate moment. I like red velvet. I'm not very picky.
I like anything tart.
Well, yeah, of course.
I would go with like lemon, raspberry. Those flavors I feel like I could eat a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like, I'm not huge into vanilla, but chocolate, I feel like after a while I'd be really sick.
It's all too rich.
Yeah, it's all just too much.
It's too much.
But if I had to pick, I would probably go with something tart.
Yeah.
Or like, I love like a good, oh my God, Veronica shower with the chocolate and cherry cupcakes. Those were so good. Did you have one?
No.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I think her sister made
They were so good. It was a dark chocolate cupcake. In the middle was like a cherry.
Love it. I mean, I love chocolate and cherry together.
That's one of my favorite combos.
Love it, love it, love it.
Will says, money, lies, sex, and secrecy. Is Ian in a sex cult?
I hope so.
Too. That would be fun.
That would be entertaining.
Yeah. Mike says, I think Pam could have saved herself if she just told them to keep the door open when someone's in your room. I totally think that, yeah.
And the door was open.
The door was open mostly.
Yeah.
You know, she could have just been like, the door stays open.
Also.
But she also wasn't supposed to be home.
Right. But also, like, Let them fool around. Nothing's going to happen.
Right.
No teenage pregnancy is happening
That's
here.
so true.
All good things.
The only thing is like STDs, but
sure.
you know.
Yes, that is true.
Like that's the only thing she'd have to worry about at this point, you know? And but this is Pam, and she goes from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, and she
every time
she doesn't agree with this lifestyle, so.
Right. So she's anything to stop it, she's gonna do. Do people know when you're lying?
Probably. I mean, I don't lie often, and I feel like you definitely can tell because I'm not a liar. Like I'm so self-aware to the point where I will like start off my lie with be like, by the way, I'm lying right now. Here's my lie.
I don't know if I have like a lying face, or I mean, I can't really think of the last time I like lied.
I know. When is the last time I lied?
Like lied where it was, I don't know, not like a white lie. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike says, do you think that Ian killed Allie?
No.
Why else would Allie be on the ground like that at the end of the episode? Well, we made a prediction.
Talked about that, yeah.
Will Hanna get all of the money back? Will Ashley get caught?
I think Ashley will get caught, and I don't think all the money's coming back. Because, like, is this like a running storyline that she's just going to get little dollars here and there? No.
Right. No. I think that would just be so boring for everyone to watch.
Yeah, so I actually think she's just going to get caught in a couple episodes. Like, let this, like, be just under the radar, and then it's going to come back.
Yeah. Kate says, what's the deal with Maya's parents? Last week, they are described as free-spirited people, but they're going to block Maya's phone and send her to juvie camp for smoking weed. I mean, Kate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
There's no continuity with that. Like, they completely miss something there.
It's weird.
We could have had her off the show any other reason than that.
Yeah.
In last week's episode, A sabotaged Spencer's relationship, and in this one, they saved Aria's. What's going on there? Is A an Azaria shipper?
Clearly, no. I think I don't know. They're just going to use it for later, or there's a reason why they have to keep Ezra in town to use him later.
Okay, I think good thoughts. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Is Ian and Melissa's pregnancy storyline going anywhere? Will there be a baby Dorito?
Yes. I could see her miscarrying though, or losing the baby
conveniently.
Yeah,
yeah, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Britt says, for Ian and Melissa, I assume Ian is behind the quick wedding and trying to get pregnant. But why? Do you think he wants to get married with a child in case anything comes up about Allie? Doesn't he know that will only make it worse?
Good thoughts. I think so. I think it just looks better if he's a married man with a baby on the way. If anything comes out, he's obviously involved with her missing, but he didn't kill her.
Do you think Melissa knows?
I don't know
what's up with him, like what he did that night, or obviously we know she doesn't know about him and Spencer. Yeah. If she does and she has gotten over that for some reason, that's crazy. But I don't know. Maybe she might. I honestly don't remember if she knows or not. Also, spouses can't testify against, right, in court. I think it's like,
I don't know.
It's like it's called something. Can't remember what it's called. I think that's true. So maybe that was the reason, but I also don't remember.
Okay.
The Hanna stuff is heartbreaking. This sticks out from my first watch. I know Michelle hates the storyline, but it's just to show how much control A has over the girls and their loved ones, even though some of these storylines are going nowhere.
Yeah.
In the end, Ezra didn't quit his job, but do you think it will be acceptable for them to date once he quits?
No. But he's not quitting.
Right. And I also think that they believe that that's the truth.
I know.
You know, they're like, once she's graduated or once he's not her teacher anymore, she's still 16 right now. Yeah. Like, it's
no.
She's not thinking with a full deck.
She's not
fully developed. Her brain's not fully developed. And his might be. I don't remember how old he is.
I'm thinking it's not.
I'm thinking he's just a few years from that. But he he's definitely, they're both obviously not thinking with a clear head. And even if he were to not be her teacher, he's still not, like, her parents are still not going to allow her to date him.
Right.
They'd have to.
Where are they going to go?
Where are they going to hang out? Keep it hush hush for a long time.
And that's real healthy.
Exactly. Do you agree with what Pam did with Maya's weed? What would you have done in that situation?
No, not at all. But like, I'm also not Pam.
Right.
It makes sense. It makes sense for Pam to call Maya's mom. That's not what I would have done.
Right. What would you have done if you saw that your kid's partner had weed? I mean, at this point, really,
nothing.
There's no justification at all.
I don't like.
What if you saw them like what if they had like coke?
Yeah, that would be a little more concerned about.
Would you call their parents?
Probably I would call their parents.
Right.
But then it's like, how'd you find it? I went through your kid's book bag.
How did she spin that? It fell out and I opened it and like.
Probably it fell out. Mm-hmm. But then if a parent was calling me and I probably have been like, all right. Like, I guess I would excuse it because you found, I don't know.
I know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Complicated.
Hard drugs. I guess, yes, I would have to. I would have definitely, I obviously wouldn't have snooped, but if it would to land on my lap and I saw it, I'd immediately go to my kid first.
Yeah.
Then I guess I would call the parents. Oh, which is really awkward, but trying to help out a situation, I guess. Vic says, did you ever call your friends by their parents by their first name? Yeah.
That's the only way.
That's the only way.
We never did last names.
Never. Mrs. or Mr. Never.
Nope.
Ever. Like in my entire life.
Same.
It just was never a formal thing that we ever did.
Nope.
Yeah. It's weird.
It is weird.
It's like whatever my mom called them, I called them.
Same. And I was never told to be different.
Right. Like,
I know that's a thing, but like growing, it just.
I think it's like a respectful thing, but also, I don't know. I just.
No.
Like my friends' parents, if I were like, were basically like my friends too in a way.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Do you think Spencer felt bad for Toby?
Yes. 100%.
How could you not? I mean, this whole time she thought that he literally was a killer.
Yeah.
She was the one like gung ho, like, it's Toby. Toby's bad. Toby. And now Spencer finally is the one to see, oh, Toby is hurting here. Yeah. Why would a frame poor Noel? I don't think he's poor Noel.
No, it's not poor Noel. Noel is just.
But also, like, we liked him stirring the pot.
Yeah. Right. And Noel is just a pawn.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to use you now. Aria and Ezra will get theirs.
Yeah, they'll get it. They'll get it eventually.
Soon enough.
Yeah. What was your favorite cringe scene? Did you have a cringe scene?
Did I have a cringe scene?
I mean, I feel like Hanna and the Cupcakes is super cringy.
The guys laugh. It wasn't really cringy. It was just like, what?
And then when Ian says, I know Spencer can keep a secret, I wanted to little trouble.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about a quote?
Oh. Yes. Allison lied more than she breathed.
So true, Emily. I love that quote. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the quote I had as well.
Nice. And I also had nice vest. Noel Khan to Ezra.
He's like, is this your professional attire? Yeah. He's such a dick. What about an MVP? You want to do it on 3?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a fusion.
Wait. Let me think.
Mine's going to sound funny.
What is my ultimate MVP? Because now, like, after discussion, I feel
a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
The girls.
Our answer. Yeah, I like fused the 3 girls together.
Of what they did for Emily.
Yeah, we had the most votes for the trio of them.
Yeah,
and then we had votes for Spencer.
Yeah.
Shittiest.
Okay, I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
because
we have like 3 different people.
Who did everybody choose?
Pam, Noel, and Ian. I picked Pam, but
Yeah.
Again, like she did exactly what I expected her to do. So I honestly don't think she's a shitty person.
No.
She's just a mother that's concerned and has different views than
That's
her
it.
child.
And I feel like Noel is doing what he thinks he has to do.
Right.
And Ian too. Like, no one was super shitty in
no
this
one was
episode.
like directly shitty.
Yeah.
So
But I get the choices.
But yeah. I'm just gonna say Pam.
Okay. Yeah, Pam works.
All right, time for a Betty of the week.
Yes.
So our Betty this week is Ashley.
All
this cupcake talk, actually, it's funny that we were talking about cake flavors this week on our Patreon page. We have a Topic Tuesday every Tuesday where we just discuss literally whatever we please. And this week it was wedding cakes.
Yum.
Wedding cake flavors. And Ashley was super chatty in our discussion. And I just wanted to shout her out and say thank you and that we really appreciate all that you've done and you've been with us for quite some time now. And we just really appreciate you.
Thanks,
so thank
Ashley.
you.
And your wedding cake sounded delicious with funfetti and peanut butter and jelly and chocolate frosting.
Oh my God, exactly. My mouth water is sinking about it.
Yum.
All right. What about an emoji? Now, there is a cupcake. Do we do that? Also, do I not even shed any more light on that thing?
I know. I was also thinking the pig.
Or the pig, right.
Like the little pig face.
Is that worse? Is a pig worse than a cupcake? Maybe we'll do a cupcake only because it's like, these girls are sugary sweet for an Apple podcast review.
That's good.
And that we're not pigs.
No, but I love pigs.
Pigs are super cute.
Pigs are so cute and very smart.
Whichever you want, a pig or a cupcake, you could do both of them. We just want to know that you're listening and that you got to the end of the episode. So if you'd please just do us a little favor and send us a pig or a cupcake or whatever you please in an Apple podcast review, possibly in a Discord chat, DM, Instagram DM, email, whatever you like. We are here to see all of your fun emojis.
Yeah.
So thanks. And maybe consider doing that thing I told you to do that I tell you to do every week. You know what it is. All right, so it's time. I'm at the end of the episode for the title for next week and my little secret.
Yes.
Okay, so episode 14 is titled Careful What You Wish For. And it's you as in you and 4 as in the number 4. Like a text message kind of fun spin.
Cute.
My secret is that we meet Caleb Rivers next week. Now, I know you don't know who Caleb Rivers is, but you will. Ha ha.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Who do you think Caleb Rivers is? Who do you think? I'll tell you, he's a student. So he's the girl's age. Caleb Rivers is making his first appearance on the show. Do whatever you want with that.
Okay.
I want to see who you think he is.
Okay, wait. You said Caleb Rivers is coming. Yeah. You'll know who he is. Like, obviously,
no. I said Caleb Rivers is coming. I know you don't know who he is, but he's coming next week. That's all. I'm very excited for his appearance. Who do you think he is? If you just like,
are you saying who do I think he is? Meaning actor?
No. Just who do you think he is as a type of person? Like, who is he? What's gonna happen with him and the girls?
I think he's like super charming and a new crush and hello Caleb Rivers, and that's it. Okay. I really when you said that I thought you meant like, and you'll know who he is.
I know,
meaning, like
I don't know if you know this actor. He does a lot of stuff. He was on Roswell, New Mexico. But mostly I feel like a lot of people know him from this show.
Okay. So I think he's just going to come and stir some shit up. But at first we're going to be like, oh, who is that? Because we need some. Because Noel is now in detention, expulsion.
Somewhere, yeah.
And Maya's gone. So 2 are gone for now. So we need someone.
So we got 1.
We're subbing. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next week we have a dance.
That's exciting.
It's actually a dance-a-thon for charity.
Okay.
So a little Gilmore Girls-esque of like staying up and dancing kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
And we'll meet Caleb, whatever that means. It's very exciting.
I'm very excited. I hope Sean's gone.
Okay.
I really hope Sean just leaves and Lucas we haven't seen. I'm going through boys.
I can confirm Lucas and Sean are in both next.
Sure, I bet they are.
Episode.
But it would be great. Like, who can crush
on Caleb?
Right. Is it Spencer?
We have a lot of single girls, so we have 2 single girls.
Yeah, like we know it's not.
In a way.
Yeah, we know it's not Aria, so I'm thinking maybe Spencer will have a thing for
Caleb.
Rivers.
Caleb Rivers.
Cool. All right, we'll see.
All right. Well, until next week, I can't wait to watch this episode with you. Actually,
that's right. We will be together.
We'll be together, and we'll meet Caleb together, and it will be fun stuff. So join us next week if that's something that interests you. Hopefully, it does, and we'll be back for episode 14. Can't believe we're so close.